All right, let's bring in the former U.S. Attorney for the District of Utah and Right on Crime Executive Director and all-around badass cowboy, Brett Tolman. So thanks so much for joining us, because this guy's legit. When he puts on his cowboy hat, it's actually legit, because he does know how to ride a horse.
That's right.
But I want to ask you about, we'll ask about horses later, but I want to ask you, you know James Comey. You've worked with James Comey. You've interacted with him a lot. Is this indictment worthy? Should the grand jury come back? Do you think he should be indicted?
You know, I've expressed concern about Jim Comey's candor to Congress for many, many years. It started when he represented to the Congress that the Department of Justice was not abusing FISA, Rule 702, and some of the powers that the FISA court was authorizing. And we knew that wasn't true. And he had represented that those abuses were not occurring. So I began to become very concerned about his candor to Congress. You know, and perhaps he has read the tea leaves for many, many years, and knowing that rarely is, you know, an individual prosecuted with misrepresentations to Congress. But the difference here, Jason and Dagan, is this is a DOJ who is candidly looking at those who were operating in secret and who were manipulating the Department of Justice for their own ends and purposes. And so I think it's proper to present it, and let's let the grand jury decide.
I will note one thing, because I covered this trial. Martha Stewart was convicted and went to prison, prosecuted by one James Comey for lying to federal investigators. She was also convicted on obstruction of justice. It was related to a stock trade, but she was not charged with insider trading, hard to prove criminally, but it was just lying to investigators. And he went after her because she was famous. So I think what's good for the goose, you know how it ends.
Well, Dagan, I agree with you. I think there are two statutes right now. 1001 is a statute that says you can't lie to a federal officer or a federal agency. And then 1621 says you really can't lie if you're under oath to Congress. So I think there's more than just the simplicity of his testimony that's being presented. I think they're presenting also what his responses may have been in his interviews with federal agents. And I think that's important. You cannot let somebody be above the law who was in such powerful positions. We hear it all the time from the left. Nobody's above the law. Well, let's see what the grand jury decides then.
Brett, let's move on to this. New details revealed today about the alleged shooter at a Dallas ICE facility yesterday.
FBI Director Kash Patel writing on X that the perp, quote, downloaded a document containing a list of DHS facilities, conducted multiple searches of ballistics and the Charlie Kirk shot video, searched apps that tracked the presence of ICE agents, and wrote on a now discovered note, quote, hopefully this will give ICE agents real terror to think, is there a sniper with AP rounds on that roof?
So how do you read this, Brett? If you were the U.S. Attorney, what's going on here?
Well, I was also concerned, Jason, hearing that there are apps that can now be downloaded and utilized to try to track and follow the movement of ICE agents. I mean, these are good men and women who are trying to follow the law, trying to enforce our immigration laws, trying to, you know, legitimize the immigration process again and to secure our border. It's important for, you know, human trafficking, drug trafficking, sex trafficking, all the different terribles that we've heard about. And here they also now have to be worried about those that are on the left who are upset, angry, radicalized. You know, they are giving into the language of politicians that are saying that they need to fight and use force. And I'm friends with so many agents that are in ICE and other agencies, and I'm concerned for them. I think there will be copycats, and there will continue to be violence. It's celebrated on the left, and it's disgusting.
It is disgusting.
CNN did a segment about one of the apps that lets you track ICE agents. I just note that.
Yeah, no, it's real. I went out with ICE last week, and they were dealing with this very issue. Brett Tolman, former U.S. Attorney and Executive Director of Right on Crime. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. All right.
And an
Thank you both.
all-around badass.
Badass cowboy. I'm just telling you, that's legit. He actually earned that cowboy hat. Yeah. All right. After the break.